And might as well just switch to the pick overlays.
Radiant team ban.
So WCY is going to have their choice of ban first, and yeah, that is their team name. So that is why I had so much difficulty pronouncing it. So we'll have to see what they go with for their first ban.
10 seconds.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know if the South American scene has, like, high skill level team in South America has a bit of a different bans and picks than North America. I would imagine it's fairly similar. We're gonna see a Jakiro and a Darkseer banned out by WCY first of all, and then a Bat Rider. So all pretty standard. Jakiro has been an incredibly powerful support. Sorry, that's the word I'm looking for. Very powerful support. Ice Path is just ridiculous, and then Dual Breath. The Liquid Flame to give you some great pushing power slows the turret attack rate. And then a TA is going to be banned out as the last one, so all pretty straightforward. Nothing that I'm all that surprised about. We'll have to see if the picks are about the same, but... And taking their time, not all that surprising. You usually want to, and they're going to go with a Rubik. So, Rubik, very good solo mid, very good support. Telekinesis and Fade Bolt, very powerful. Plus, this makes it so you might think twice about picking up some stuff like a Tide Hunter. I mean, if you get a good Ravage off, you can usually quickly fire off that Anchor Smash. Or like an Enigma if you don't catch the Rubik in the Black Hole. He's just going to go ahead and steal it. You know, it makes you think twice about picking up some of the bigger team fight.
5 seconds remaining.
Lina.
And they go with Chaos Knight Lina, interestingly enough. Normally it's Chaos Knight Leshrac, just because of Diabolic Edict, but Lina very, very powerful. Light Strike Rate does a decent nuke, and then Dragon Slave, tons of damage as well. So we might see like an aggressive Tri-Lane come out from them as well. WCY responds with a Sven pickup. Sven, very, very powerful lately. He's been super popular. If you allow Sven to get some farm, get himself like an Assault Cuirass and a Daedalus, he is going to just cleave your entire team to death. You will just get destroyed. And then a Disruptor is going to be picked up as well. Give them the kinetic field to isolate people. Trap them inside of stuff like, you know, trap them in with a Sven. And then Static Storm, very, very powerful as well. Silences does a good chunk of damage. But, and then Glimpse. Oh, Glimpse is the most broken spell in this game. I won't lie. You get level 4 Glimpse, and you can just pull people out of position, send people who are TPing in back home.
5 seconds.
It screws up positioning so much.
Reserve time.
So they're eating into a little bit of their reserve time, and they're gonna go with a Tide Hunter. As I said before, Ravage is a good enough area that you usually stun the Rubik and you can quickly get off an Anchor Smash. So it's pretty rare for him to be able to steal the Ravage. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm gonna turn up my sounds just a little bit.
Dire team banned.
We see a Beastmaster banned out. Thought I heard a random growl. And then an Enigma Night Stalker, very, very quick.
Dire team banned.
So I imagine that the Enigma is mostly just so then they can't kinetic field 2 or 3 people and then black hole them inside, like Static Storm and then black hole. You generally don't want to have that kind of synergy. And again, the Jakiro ban out, that would have been a good pickup with the kinetic field, actually.
The horn of Magnus.
And Magnus says his picking noise when you ban him. He says, "Behold the horn of Magnus," and you're not going to behold it because I'm not going to be in this game. Shadow Shaman's going to be banned out, so that gets rid of some more pushing. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't ban out the Leshrac, because that would have been a pretty obvious tri-lane pickup. Chaos Knight Leshrac Lina is disgusting. You reality rip somebody and then Chaos Bolt them, and then they are never going to do anything. But, and I imagine Tidehunter will be their long lane solo.
10 seconds remaining.
Rubik Disruptor could probably be a tri-lane with the Sven. Queen of Pain's going to be banned out. Get rid of a solo mid. So basically, as it stands now, Pain.Girls Gaming needs a mid and probably the third person in their tri-lane. Because I don't know, I don't think they would put Tidehunter in a tri-lane. They could, but you usually want to get a very fast level 6 on him. As far as WCY, they pretty much need their long lane solo, unless they send the Rubik, which would be a little awkward, and then a mid, unless they send Rubik there, in which case they need another support. But I think that the Disruptor Telekinesis, or Disruptor and Rubik will be the tri-lane. So, in their reserve time, they've got, you know, a minute and 20 seconds-ish to just put as much thought as they can into these last two picks.
Windrunner
They go with the Windrunner, so that's their there's their long lane. Unless they send it mid, they could do that as well. But it's a very, like, that fills one of those two roles, so that all they need to do is fill the other role.
Tinker!
Tinker's gonna be picked up, so that'll be their mid.
Radiant
So you
team
can
pick.
pretty much guarantee that they'll be picking up like a Leshrac or something like that. Leshrac, maybe a Venomancer for that tri-lane. And then it'll be Tidehunter in the long lane and Tinker. Some pings are going out. Oh, apparently one of them disconnected and reconnected real quick. But it's fine, it's not the person who's doing the picks or
10
bans.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And just gonna have to see what the last pick out of WCY is. And they're putting a lot of thought into this, actually.
Invoke.
And they're going to go with an Invoker, so that'll be their mid.
Dire
Windrunner
team
will be in the
pick.
long lane, and then, as I kind of had a feeling, it'll be a Sven Rubik Disruptor. I mean, that's all pretty standard and easy to predict. The real question is where, like, what's... if they'll send the tri-lane in the long lane to try and go try versus try, or what.
10 seconds remaining.
And the last pick?
5 seconds remaining.
I would say Leshrac, maybe a Venomancer.
Reserve time.
They could do something a little unorthodox, like a Vengeful Spirit. So we're just waiting for the one last pick out of them. I mean, it's a little difficult. They could pretty much pick up any kind of support because they have the CK Lina,
Mirana.
and they go with a Mirana. Okay. Not what I would have gone with. In my opinion, like a Lion or a Venomancer or a Leshrac would have been way better. So we might see a pair of dual lanes. We might see a Mirana Tidehunter lane, which I don't like. Really, I don't like that at all. One second, 1 minute. So they just need a second. Quick pause coming up. That gives me a chance to go over who's playing what. So for WCY, we have Carpo playing the Sven, Campari on the Invoker, Exhel on the Windrunner, Feliponi on the Rubik, and Herduk on the Disruptor. And then we have Shermie on the Mirana, Darky Zinha on the Chaos Knight, Nanadi on the Tinker, Nenezaha on the Tidehunter, and Lady Aran on the Lina. And there we go. Quick unpause coming out.
Prepare for battle.
So, Lena has both sentries and observers. They might be looking to do a little bit of an invasion, try and get that pole camp warded up. Sven didn't buy anything. He says, nah, I'm just gonna save for whatever. Which I'm a little curious about. Very fast magic stick out of the Rubik. And I don't know, my only guess is that they're doing that because they want to go try versus try. And they just assume that there's going to be a lot of spells. And, oh, this Sven is going to wander into all 5 of them, I think. And that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt a lot. We see Light Strike Array and Chaos Bolt. And they're going to go ahead and ward the Magic Bush. And if they actually loop around... Oh, they're not going to. That would have been super easy First Blood for them. And here comes Disruptor. And... yeah, I'm laughing about this, Sven. Windrunner, pretty standard long lane, got a lot of regen, and picked up Windrun at first level.
The battle begins.
I don't know if I totally agree. Like, picking up Windrun right away, I would have waited to see what I'm up against. If I'm up, you know, there's the possibility that they send their tri-lane in the long lane just to try and do try versus try, and I just realized I totally forgot to change the overlays. There we go. So I'm not as bad as some people. Only went like 15 seconds in. Just tabbing out, checking Skype every so often, just to keep myself informed on what's going on with brackets and stuff like that. And against this Windrunner, this Chaos Knight's going to basically have free farm. If you've got a tri-lane against a long lane solo, I mean, she will probably be able to get a little bit of experience and a little bit of farm. And once... wow! So they already killed the Mirana. They sent Mirana long lane. And so they do have Tidehunter in this tri-lane. I'm not a huge fan of this, because that means the Tidehunter's going to basically take forever to level up, and this Windrunner's going to go down as well. Lena picks up that Gush into a Chaos Bolt into a Light Strike Array. Super easy. So both tri-lanes picks up kills on the solos, and Sven is basically up to 800 gold. He said, I don't need items to get kills. I think he actually... no, he did not get... Rubik got that kill. Bring up this. Tinker farming great up against this Invoker. Did this Invoker go Blades of Attack? No, he did not. He went Magic Stick. What's up with these people picking up very early Magic Sticks? Don't do this unless you're up against like a Bat Rider or something, because they're not going to be spamming that much. Like, he's got 1 charge already when he could have like maybe another 5 last hits because he picked up a Blades of Attack. And thank you, Paranoid Android. I just realized about that. And again, this tri-lane picks up another kill. The Chaos Knight gets the last hit on that one. Mirana playing a lot safer now. Just saying, I'll get what experience I can.
Radiant's top tower is
they do a
attack.
pull, so things come forward, but it should hit the tower and hopefully come forward a little bit. And oh man, so Sven was given some tank. Like, are they trying to pull up for? Like, what are they trying to do with this?
Invisibility. Certainly not.
Invoker finishes a magic wand already, when he could have used that for boots. He could have used that for a Blades of Attack again, so he could actually get some last hits. I don't understand what these people are doing. I wish I could. If anyone knows, like, I'm gonna flat out say now, I'm not all that familiar with the South American teams. So if you know any, like, the mindset behind this, so he just buys treads right away. So I guess that was what he was saving up for, but if you understand what that's about, please inform me. We're gonna see some double pulling going on here. So just pulling it into this centaur camp here. And Windrunner actually firing some, power shot through. I think she got 1 last hit, maybe? Tinker going the... I got 1 point in laser, but probably going to see primarily Rocket March. Got his bottle. And did someone already pick up the 6-minute rune? Or, sorry, there's a rune that's just about to spawn. I'm seeing into the future. I don't know why I thought it was 6 minutes into the game. When there's just a rune spawning now. They don't have any wards up, unfortunately. So their pings are going to go out, pointing out where the rune is. And Sven is basically he's getting pretty good at farm, actually. He's 19-6 up against a 15-4 Chaos Knight. The Chaos Knight does have 1 kill, 1 assist. And so, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's fairly even. Windrunner's sending herself some boots, along with somebody else's boots. I think that's the Invoker's. Yeah. So there you go. Invoker's going to be sending himself boots on that green Greevel. And he's 10-1 up against a 21-4 Tinker. So Tinker's pretty much won this lane. Unless there's a lot of... Who got that rune? Nobody did? But they've got some rune wards now out for the Dire team as well. Well, poor Marana is only level 2. I mean, Windrunner's level 3. Just hit level 3. So the solos are pretty much even. Which has given the farming heroes in the tri-lanes pretty much whatever they want. They can just do whatever they want. Another 800 gold saved up on the Sven. And the CK has his treads finished now as well. Still has regen.
Is under attack.
And, I mean, I guess the Sven still has a little bit of regen that he just ferried as well. We're going to see some early damage. Power Shot's going to come through, damage the creep wave, pull it through, and hit all of the heroes as well. Invoker going Quas Wex. We don't actually see this all that often anymore. Just due to the primary fact that, that you need that exhort right-click damage to be able to get last hits. I mean, of course I talk shit about this early magic wand, but there's so much March spam and laser spam and all that, that he's getting some charges, but is it really going to matter? Like, you could have phase boots and be farming up more. But oh well. What can you do? It's a choice that he has made. We actually see an early pointing Chaos Strike. And I don't know. I don't really dislike this. I know most people go for the fast Reality Rift levels. We'll have to see what he actually goes with to... well, what she goes with, because this is Pain.Girls. What she goes with for the further levels. But I don't mind it. 10% chance to randomly get extra damage. Not necessarily a bad thing. Lena's going to rotate down mid, waiting for Invoker, but she is sitting basically right beside a ward. So the Invoker, he's just going to run right away. And the Light Striker array away is going to miss. Marana's going to come up as well. It's still only level 2. Super unfortunate. That's, like, Marana as a solo is safe. Like, the leap makes it so that she's alright. But she's basically abandoning that lane. Says, I'm just going to roam instead. I've got my arrow. So I can just hopefully try and set up some kills. Both Rubik and Disruptor are up here. Sucking down some Clarity Potions. Level 4 and 3 respectively. And the Windrunner's level 4. No points in Shackle Shot, which is super surprising. Like, you look at only adds 0.75 seconds to Windrun. Honestly, I am not a fan of putting early points. 1 point is great, especially as a solo.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And they said, Sven, you might as well just farm, get some solo experience. Nobody's, like, bothering you. Cold Snap's going to be completely wasted. You got, I think, a single tick from the initial casting of it. That was it. And in the meantime, they're doing a tri-lane versus a tri-lane. Try and get this Windrunner a little bit of farm, even though she wasn't doing that bad. She's 13-0. When you compare the fact that the Windrunner or the Marana got literally nothing, absolutely nothing, except for some experience. I think they're just looking to do a very fast push on this tower, which is why the Mirana's up here. And we actually see laser march coming out of the Tinker. It's not a usual thing you see. Ordinarily, it's something like it's usually rocket march. But hey, laser very powerful. It's true. It's pure damage, and it does give that miss rate. 3 seconds of no right clicks, very powerful, especially if he goes for like a cold snap. You can just suddenly bait him into fighting you, laser him.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And now Mirana is popping lead for no reason. I guess trying to get a little bit of experience, but then they realize maybe we shouldn't let a Sven just, you know, free farm. He could pick up a Hyperstone right now. And I think he should probably go for a BKB first, because of the Chaos Bolt and the Light Strike Array. I would rather see that. Tinker's got himself an invis. So this'll... I mean, the laser does give him a good amount of burst. But looks like they just fall back. They saw that he had picked up an invis rune. I think this word spots it. Yeah, it does. So they would have seen that he bottled it up at least and was probably continuing to head top. Sven's got 2,500 gold now. He's picked himself up a TP scroll and that's about it. And just bought something big. That can't be for him. He buys a Shadow Amulet. And something else, I think. No, just a Shadow Amulet, it looks like. Okay, then. He's got himself another 1,000 gold. Arrow's gonna come through, it's gonna whiff though. And Tinker has himself his Boots of Travels already, so he's gonna be super annoying, especially now that he has an ultimate. You're gonna see him roaming all over the place. Mirana's getting a little bit of experience now that it's only a solo Sven. And he's still only... so he's just waiting to get everything. He just wants to get a full Shadow Blade. And I guess it's so he can pop his ult, pop Shadow Blade, and maybe just absolutely demolish somebody. It's, I mean, again, if you have 2,200 gold, buy like parts to a BKB, or parts to, and that is not the page I want. Buy the parts to a BKB, buy a Hyperstone, buy something. But, oh well. We got a Tri-Lane versus a Tri-Lane up here. Windrunner. Okay, and then there you go. He's got his Shadow Blade finished. For some reason, is bringing the Shadow Amulet to himself. And then he's going to send the courier back, pick up the Claymore, bring it back to him. Instead of, you know, just sending it, picking up, finishing the Shadow Blade on the courier, bringing it to you. And wow, he is wasting so much time. Oh, it's painful. Alright, Windrunner has a bottle now. 2 points, still no points in Shackle Shot. What is going on? 3 Gush, 2 Anchor Smash, and an ult already on the Tidehunter. Galena almost has that level 6, and then they'll just look to blow somebody up. Tornado and a Cold Snap onto the Tinker. And actually there's a Thunderclap as well. Not going to be able to finish it off. Sunstrike completely misses. He's going to bottle up. Has a haste rune. And some people, the support's rotating down just in case they continue to chase. Blah, blah, blah. English is hard. Just in case they continue to chase. And unfortunately, this has been a super quiet game. We had a bunch of action early on with the Tri-Lanes getting some kills, and then that's about it. Everyone's been farming gold per minute. 350-ish on the Sven, and 260 on the Chaos Knight, so it's respectable on the Chaos Knight.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Has pretty much an armlet finish, just needs like another 400, or about 300 gold-ish to get the Blades of Attack, and that'll be a finished armlet, and then... and so yeah, I went for the Reality Rift, just the 1 point in Chaos Strike, just to get that random crits. You never know, it could be the difference between a kill and someone getting away with like 100 health. And we're going to see 2 points in Thunder Strike, and then Glimpse,
is under attack.
1 and 1 Kinetic Field. Normally, you actually see 4 points split into Glimpse, especially with a Support Disruptor, just because like I said, it gives that huge range, allows you to pull people out of position. Rubik, pretty standard. Actually, I would kind of rather just see the 3rd point being put into Fade Bolt instead. But hey, what can you do? Invoker, pretty standard setup as well. Tinker coming forward, just gonna pound out that laser. A Void Stone picked up on the Invoker along with his Phase Boots. And there you go, there's the Shadow Blade on the Sven. Tinker's gonna find himself another Invis rune. And pretty standard build here. Looks like 1 point of stats. Yeah. You know, you could have that maxed out Warcry, but it's not really that big of a deal. It's, you know, at least he's not going like 4 points into stats and ignoring Warcry or something like that. And Lina, not 6 yet. Lina level 6, incredibly powerful. Especially, like, if we compare levels, you could blow up pretty much everyone. You hit level 6, like, you look at level 1, Laguna Blade does 450 damage. On a Disruptor, that's like 3/4 of his health when you factor in the natural resistances and stuff like that. Tinker does have himself this Invis, so they're going to come forward. We will see a Gush. That's a very, very easy set of kills.
They never miss.
And that's a good gold infusion. We're seeing some more action. We'll probably see them look to push this tower. Invoker is going to rotate up. He's going to throw a Tornado out. Hit pretty much everybody, but it doesn't really matter. They still have Ravage if they absolutely have to. But he doesn't have the mana. Tinker still gets the last hit with a laser. And there you go. Chaos Knight finishes off. That tower has his armlet finished. Has Treads, another 1,200 gold saved up as well. But we're going to see Sven look to take down this tower. Did pop God's Strength. Glyph is going to be used.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
TPs are going to come through, though, so he's not going to be able to finish that. And rockets are going to come through, do a little bit of damage, doesn't really do a whole lot, though. Soul Ring is finished on the Tinker. Let's have a look at items. So we've got the Shadow Blade. So basically no new pickups on the Radiant team. Ring of Regen, that's about it. And Arcane Boots are finished on the Tidehunter. And we do have Blades of Attack on the Mirana. So we'll have to see what that exactly goes towards. I'm clicking all the wrong buttons. I am super good at this. Bottom tower taking a little bit of damage, but all the other towers looking pretty good. Thunderstrike's gonna come through, does a bit of damage. Level 3 Thunderstrike, he just wants that nuke. Wants that nuke power. Invokers down here, we do have Lina, who is level 6 now. Rocket's going to scout out the Invoker. We're going to have Sven come down as well. God's Strength is back up. Now he has the mana attack into a Stormhammer. And he just pops... He pops God... Oh! Oh, Tinker has DC'd, but he's probably going to die anyways. That's going to hurt a lot. This is basically going to be a 300 damage right-click. And, oh, this is going to be rough. We're going to see probably a giant right-click, and then a Stormhammer for 325 damage, and probably a dead Tinker. Oh, he actually did not right-click, but the Tinker still goes down. We do see a Ravage come out. Dragon Slave. Ice Wall is dropped. Arrow onto the Sven. He eats a laser. He's going to go down. Starstorm. Lina actually finishes that one off. Luna Blade still not used. Doesn't have the mana for it, though. And Arcane Boots actually can't Arcane. Now he can Arcane. There you go. Pops the Arcanes. And Lina picks up her Arcanes as well. So there you go. Everyone's looking nice and healthy. They don't actually get the tower, but they got a pair of kills.
Tower is under attack.
I think they got 2. No, it was just 1 for 1. Tinker went down, but he actually bought back as well. He's got himself 1,200 gold. They're going to continue this push forward. March is so annoying for this. March is the worst. Tornado's going to go down on the Mirana and the Tinker, but Campari is in a bit of trouble. He's going to get lasered. Arrow actually misses, but he's going to take a bunch of damage. Oh! Kinetic Field's going to go down. Oh, Sven TPs into them all. Stormhammer finishes off later Auron.
You died well.
Radiant's top tower.
That's a 1 for 1 Sven. He has picked himself up a Claymore.
Radiant
So,
structures are fortified.
Look at that. I guess he's going Battle Fury. I don't really see that as a necessary thing. Like, again, pick up BKB, pick up Assault Cuirass, pick up Daedalus. Just give yourself damage. You have a natural cleave. And it's huge. 70% cleave damage. If you look at Battle Fury, 35. It's double Battle Fury. Just by leveling. Just pick up damage. Now, mind you, that does stack up. So it will give him a huge amount of cleave damage. When he actually does finally, you know, look to pick up heal damage. And I mean, I know... There you go. There's the God Strength. Popped and the Shadow Blade. Oh, so much pain. This Sven is pure power. But the Mirana is going to finish off the Disruptor in exchange. So it's an alright trade. Again, the Mirana helps shore up some of the farms she didn't really get in the beginning of the game. And another pause, apparently. I guess they're having a bit of lag issues.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, and it looks like their CK has 400 ping. That's rough. And working towards BKB, most likely. Mithril Hammer picked up first. A little bit weird. Normally you do see that Ogre Club first. And they are defending these tier 1s like no tomorrow. Rubik has Spell Steal, level 6. How is everyone looking at levels? So we got 12 and 12 on the Invoker and Sven, and then 12 on the Tinker. So Chaos, like, and then it just drops off kind of from there. Chaos Knight is at 11, and then it drops down to like 8 in Windrunner. The supports of the Radiant team looking really rough. And Invokers, he's been spending so much time here. I don't understand it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Sven actually destroys this middle tower, and then Glyph is popped. That's a bit of a issue as well. And Dragon Slaves coming through just to clear that creep wave out. Some pings. Going down on the Tidehunter. He has Ravage up, so they are looking to take a fight. Because Ravage Laguna, that'll pretty much kill anyone. Especially if they do it on like the Thrall. Even Invoker, that'll take a good chunk off them. Then something like a Light Strike Array or Chaos Knight in the meantime, just farming away. He's got 860 gold. So, about 2,000 gold from finishing that BKB. Arrow is actually going to land Light Strike Array onto the Thrall, and we're going to see a Ravage and
defeat to
Laguna
the
on him.
fire.
Unfortunately, the Glimpse was a little too late. Got the Ravage off in the middle of them anyways. We see a Glimpse, and then a Gush onto the Invoker. Rubik eats an arrow and then a Light Strike Array. And the Invoker does manage to TP out, but they're still going to take this tower. So it's all good. Tinker has himself a Force Staff. And there you go. So, Ogre Club is picked up. It's sitting on the courier. So you just need another 1,300 gold. So about 800 gold still.
Haste.
And for those of you just tuning in, I am Blightwind. I'm a caster for Gosu Gamers, and this is the Gosucup Americas. This is Pain.Girls Gaming versus WCY. I am not attempting to pronounce their team name because it is something in Spanish, I do believe, and I cannot read it at all. Pain is an all-Brazilian women's team, and then WCY is an all-Peruvian team. This tournament is a great chance for South America teams to try and get some exposure.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Random arrow into a creep. Tornado's gonna come through, hit two of them. They're still gonna get the tower. And actually Miranda picks that up, so that's a nice little infusion of gold. She's got 2,000 saved up. Probably maybe a Yasha next. Go for a very fast Manta. And we see Chaos Knight pretty much finished that BKB, and at that point, gonna be running rampant. There you go, BKB recipe picked up right on cue. And an Invis Tide. Ravage is up in about 12 seconds. And they're gonna find a Disruptor caught out. But they don't actually go in on it. They're not too sure if there's anybody else on the high ground. 3-second Chaos Bolt onto the Windrunner. Rubik does manage to steal Chaos Bolt. We're going to see a kinetic field and a static storm onto the Chaos Knight. And the Lena's going to go down as well. Gush onto the Rubik. They're going to actually... So that was a bit of an awkward engagement. They got the Windrunner, but lost 3 in the meantime. Glimpsed the Tide back into tower range for like 1 hit. And Chaos Knight, unfortunately, couldn't Reality Rift anybody out. Like, he couldn't Reality Rift creep and hopefully pull himself out of the kinetic field. The Static Storm just chewed through him. But thankfully, pretty much all his gold. Didn't really lose anything except for a bit of farm time. And Tinker randomly force staffing himself forward. Doesn't really matter, you can just refresh the cooldown on it. He can do whatever he wants forever.
Double damage.
Ping's going out. Tinker doing a bit of jungling. And I'm going to turn myself to offline so I stop getting pop-ups. Sorry about the random notifications. We'll have to see... Oh, just an ultimate orb, but again, that'll probably be for the Manta. So start saving up for that Yasha now. We see an Observer and then a Sentry just to make sure that they won't get counter-warded, or that do some counter-warding of their own, which is hard.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mirana's going to TP to the middle lane and just get some farm up. Starstorm doing wonders for that. Or Windrunner almost going down, actually. Gonna eat the last charge in her bottle. Sven comes in, pops his ulti. Stormhammers the Tinker. He's gonna get lasered, though. Gonna get gushed as well. They pop Dust. And, ooh, will they pop the Ravage for this solo kill? No, they decide not to. Tide is getting close. Actually gets Tornado. Arrow's gonna come through. Actually land on the Invoker. But they are maybe gonna go in on this. Mirana's gonna get glimpsed. And Kinetic Field's gonna go down along with an Ice Wall. So they're not really gonna bother doing any of that, like, continuing with this. Or they're gonna keep chasing. Apparently I'm crazy. BKB is popped by Chaos Knight. Herr Duke is in a load of trouble. He's gonna drop a random Static Storm.
Your flesh achieves a lower state of order.
CK picks up another kill. And they're gonna go grab the creep wave. Maybe look to push this forward. BKB is on cooldown now. Rubik steals something. It's a Chaos Bolt. EMP's gonna come through, take all of the Chaos Knight's mana. So it's a pretty close game. Let's have a quick look at the gold graphs. I mean, it is in the Dire's favor. It's about 3,500 in their favor. And then about a little over like 1,100 experience. Sven pops God's Strength and pops his Shadow Blade. Gonna get a random Stormhammer off. Now they do have Ravage. WCY called out B. We're gonna see a 4-second Chaos Bolt on Herr Duke. He's gonna go down. Sven is in some trouble. Chaos Bolt to return fire. EMP is gonna come out. Rockets are gonna go forward. Sven is gonna get teleported. Get a kill with his Stormhammer. Escape with 44 health. Shackle Shot on 2. Chaos Bolt on the Chaos Knight. But he's gonna pop, toggle his armlet and pop a KP charge. Tinker is unfortunately gonna go down as well. Got a kill on the Rubik with a laser. Buys back. Bit of an awkward buyback. I don't know if that was entirely necessary. He's gonna TP down here though. Start dropping the March. And just keep pushing this forward. Try and do some damage to this tower. Just let the creeps come forward, it looks like. Start some attacks in. Any other item pickups? Windrunners looks like still working on a Force Staff. Fortunately, 0-4. Same thing with the Rubik. He's just like 800, 750 gold, somewhere around there. Disruptor has his Arcane Boots. That's about it. The Sven has a Battle Fury finished. Okay then. Now an Ogre Club working on a BKB. That could have been a BKB from, you know, that he would have had a long time ago. I don't know if the, like, this Battle Fury is a complete waste to me. I'm gonna flat out say that now. 31-minute BK or Ogre Club into a BKB. I know he's gonna pop God's Strength. He's gonna pop his Shadow Blade. Not really accomplish anything. With that, the Invoker has a Yules. And then Lina working towards a mech. About 800 gold from that one. And another Helm of Iron Will. Helm of the Dominator, I guess? Because I can't see him picking up a Veil.
Just what are you hiding, Rashad?
And the Tidehunter looking for a Force Staff, I think? Bit of an interesting pickup. So both these teams really looking for the mobility. It's going to be an easy Roshan. Ooh, bit of an awkward armlet toggle from Chaos Knight. Toggled it off and then immediately got bashed. But they should really be fine.
Roshan has fallen to the down.
Chaos Knight picks up that. And maybe look to just go passively regen. Might run back to base. Hard to see. And we're going to see a Force Staff recipe being flown out to the Tide Hunter. And Helm of the Dominator is finished already, just being flown out to the Chaos Knight. So basically using that, that Force Staff most likely will be used as a poor man's blink. Use it to just walk up to fights, Force Staff yourself forward, and pop off a quick Ravage. Now they're going to look to pressure this tier 2 in the mid lane, but there is 4 heroes here from the Radiant to prevent that. Tinker using his boots of travel, being the annoyance that he can be. Lina actually is going to get shackled, but they're not going to go in. Just a single auto attack from the Windrunner.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Tinker 4 steps forward. Chaos Knight gets a 3-second Chaos Bolt, and Disruptor goes down. Reality Rift's out of the kinetic field.
Tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's
When
bottom
they get a creep
tower
wave,
is
they'll
under
probably look
attack.
to push this. And I don't imagine they'll be able
Radiant's
to
middle
prevent
tower
this.
is
The
under
glyph is
attack.
up. Actually, Sven manages to catch out the Chaos Knight. That is Aegis, though. So they'll probably be sticking around. Arrow's going to come through, land on the Windrunner. 4-second Chaos Bolt on the Sven. Ravage as well. He's going to go down. Just gets shredded. Pops his Shadow Blade, actually, and gets out. But Lina gets a double kill. They clean up 3. So, again, that's pretty much tower
Radiant's
dead.
middle tower is under attack.
And if this Sven had a Chaos, or a BKB, before he picked up this
Middle tower has fallen.
Battle Fury for some reason, could be doing a ton more work. This game is just starting to slip out of WCY hands.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I think far superior item pickups on the Dire team. Yasha already, so 700 gold to go for that Manta. And the Force Staff, like, again, it would be nice to see this be a blink. Stormhammer is going to come out, telekinesis. They actually get a huge arrow on this Rubik. We're going to see a glimpse on somebody. Tidehunter gets a blast hit with an Angry Smash. They have a gem picked up on the Lina. Mech is finished as well. 1,700 gold picked up on the Chaos Knight. So we might see him go for like a Manta now. Arrow's gonna come through, not hit anything. Very close to hitting both the Windrunner and the Sven. And they're just gonna decide to fall back for now. Ravage is down for another like 60 seconds-ish. In the meantime, Tinker still farming away. He's got 3,300 gold saved up, along with the ultimate orb. So he's about 200 gold from finishing a Sheepstick, and that'll be a huge pickup for them. Especially if the Sven doesn't have his BKB finished. He's only 100 gold off that, so I don't imagine that'll be happening anytime soon. And then he might actually be useful in fights, aside from that single Shadow Blade hit, because then he instantly gets CC'd and just torn apart. And there you go. BKB finish. Finished on him. Tinker has himself a Sheepstick, though. And he TPs on home. Heals himself up. Pops bottles, and he quickly get his HP up. Rubik's still working on the Force Staff, got his Arcanes finished.
Radiant's
Looks like
top
Invoker
tower
is going
under
for
attack.
an Aghanim Scepter. Lina gets the last hit on that tier 2. There was really no opposition for that at all. And a Hyperstone is actually picked up on the Chaos Knight. So he's probably going for an AC now. They actually landed an arrow on Disruptor, but He's in the middle of all 5 other, well, all 4 of his teammates and the base. So they can't really dive in after that. 1,800 gold saved up on the Tidehunter, so I don't know what he'd look to get now. Maybe a pipe. That'd be the only pickup I could really see working out. Nothing on the courier. And that is just a naked Greevel. Okay then. Looks weird. Greevils are worrisome. Tinker could have forced himself forward, but BKB popped by the Sven for absolutely no reason. Basically wasted a charge. You might as well just have bought a 9-second BKB. The Tinker was tornadoed. Wasn't really gonna be able to get away. I guess he could have lasered the Sven, but then the Invoker would have just finished it up. Big EMP Static Storm. We're gonna see a Shackle as well. Sven is gonna come through. Look to finish. He gets a double kill actually. Marana leaps out of the kinetic field, gets shackled though. Sven gets a triple kill. Glimpse. And Invoker gets the last hit on that one.
Better to clothe yourself in knowledge. For all the good your scraps of armor did you.
So Sven very quickly starting to spike up into this game. Got another 2,400 gold. We'll have to see if he goes for like a crit or just goes for an AC. Either one would be a fine pickup. That was a full team wipe, by the way. So they're going to push this tier 2 very, very quickly. Warcry is popped to give the creeps a little bit more armor. They could pop Glyph for this, but there's no real point. Just fall back, defend the racks in the tier 3.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Random tornado being thrown out just to delay any kind of chase. Windrunner TP's down to the bottom lane. Has a Force Staff finished. And so did Rubik finish his Force Staff as well. Another 3,400 gold saved up now on the set. And looks like he's probably going to go pick up, well, I guess he could pick up either a Hyperstone or, yeah, so it's a Demon Edge, so it's going to be for a Daedalus. I think that's fine. AC can come afterwards. Just give himself some huge crit cleaves. They really need to focus on getting this Sven down. I mean, that BKB will make that fairly difficult. And it's still fairly fresh. He did waste that one early, but they haven't really had an engagement since then. But if they can keep him locked down with this Sheep Stick on this Tinker, then it'll be huge. Tidehunter's got an Invis rune. They do have a smoke on him as well. Marana has her Manta finished. And Drums picked up on Lina.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tide looking to scout things out, but being fairly careful not to reveal himself. The Invis does run out though, and he gets dropped in a kinetic field and a Static Storm. He is in a ton of trouble. Telekinesis, gonna be thrown back. Pops himself a smoke to try and make it out. Chaos Knight goes down. Lina goes down. Tinker gets glimpsed backwards. The Sven does go down to March. Tide does get himself one kill. Arrow's gonna come through. Tinker had bought back. TP's in. Invoker's in some trouble. Invoker manages to escape with a Ghost Walk. Let's see, unfortunately this Chaos Knight keeps dying, so we can't get this AC finished. And Tide's got another 1,300 gold saved up. I'm not too sure. Oh, he did pick up a plate mail, so he's going for his Shivas. So he's got about 2,000 gold before he can actually pick that up. Yeah. And Lena, like I said, has drums and mech. The Marana with another 1,000 gold and a Mantis style. Might see her go for crit next. I think that would be the best pickup. Just try and get some good right-click damage out. And this is definitely, I would say it's in Pain.Girls' favor, but definitely not out of their hands. Yeah, so about 6,000 gold.
I could have hit Roshan with my eyes closed.
Experience is pretty much dead even. Marana just using arrows to help stun the Roshan. And unless, yeah, so it looks like CK drops his TP scroll. They're going to look to take this, and that'll probably be for another big push. Chaos Knight does pick that up, gets himself a regen rune. They smoke up. They're going to go hunting. Tinker kind of acting as bait. They're going to wait for this Radiant team to come forward, and oh, this is bad. Arrow gonna come through, land on the Disruptor. He is just going to get absolutely shredded by the Ravage. They just demolish the Tinker. And that is a Daedalus finished on the Sven. He is just doing tons of damage. Telekinesis in the Chaos Knight. That's going to be the Aegis popped. Triple kill for the Sven. Phantasm ultra kill for the Sven. In the meantime, Chaos Knight's going to look to chase down this Rubik. Fate Bolt is going to come through. And Sven has enough mana for a Stormhammer. That's about it. Ping's going out where they know the Chaos Knight is. He's going to get EMP'd, cold snapped, and like 1,300 crits coming out of this Sven. And I think they're about to get out carried by this Sven. As much as I would love to see the Pain.Girls be able to pull this out, I think they sat on this Sven way too long. He's going to be able to get himself a Hyperstone pretty soon here. He is down to a 7-second BKB. But if in those 7 seconds he is critting your entire team for like 1,300 gold, then it doesn't matter. Because he's just going to he's going to demolish your team.
Dire's top tower has
this top tier 1 does get denied. Doesn't really matter at this point. We're going to see God's Strength and so much damage. Pops Ghost Scepter. Sunstrike actually misses. Force Staff through the trees. Tinker's probably going to escape there. Sven says, fine. I'll just go pick up my Hyperstone. And have a good day. And this Chaos Knight keeps dying. At one point was, 3-0, something like that. 3-1. It's now 6-4. So still getting a few kills, but nothing really to offset all those deaths, especially when you're trying to get a pretty big item like an AC up. Invoker has the items, Scepter finished. So he's going to turn into that Spell Machine Gun. Windrunner working on a Dagon? I'd be a little shocked to pick up a 47-minute Dagon. Disruptor just being the ward bending machine, and Rubik is working on a BKB, I'm guessing? Unless they want to go like Heaven's Halberd or something like that on him. The Marana has an Ogre Club, so that should be for a BKB. Tired of getting chain stunned and demolished by this Sven. The Tinker has a Ghost Scepter, again, to help counter that Sven, Gosucup, he can't right-click you. And if you can waste just a little bit of that God Strength time, it's always good. 2,100 gold saved up on this Tide Hunter. He's got level 3 Ravage now, and he is about 1,100 gold from finishing a Shivers. And then the Lena's being the ward machine, so no new pickups really on her. Now Tinker is being super annoying, constantly TPing around, constantly letting that march down, so all the lanes are pushing forward. Invoker ping Mirana. She's gonna leap away though. Knew that she had stayed in that danger zone a little too much. And what do they got coming out? They got a smoke and the pieces to the AC. So Chaos Knight is now, thankfully, only about 50 gold from finishing that AC. And where was that Sunstrike? They are going to smoke up. Chaos Knight leading the charge. If they find somebody, they instantly will be looking to Reality Rift and just shred them. I want to give a big shout out to the 10 or so people that have been sticking around. I've seen the names jumping up and down, but a couple people have been sticking around, and I thank you very much for supporting new casters like myself. And the smoke just runs out. They decide, screw it, we'll just look to push. Oh, sorry, a bit of a yawn there. And I believe they had a gem on the Tinker, so that he needs to stick around with them so that they don't get caught out by the Sven. This Sven has been a fan of popping God Strength and then that Shadow Blade and running in, critting somebody for like half their health. And then stunning BKB and just starting to shred. And both of these teams really can't keep a wave together. They've got the March that's constantly shredding now, and then they've got the Sven that is just hitting the wave for so much now. AC is finished on the Chaos Knight, though. Finally. So that'll give a good amount of armor,
is under attack.
along with, the attack speed buff to everybody. And Assange. Are we seeing S and Y on this Mirana? I'm going to go ahead and hope and pray that this is actually for a Heaven's Halberd to help disable this Sven. If it's a Heaven's Halberd, I love it. If it's an S and Y, not so much. Gonna stack up some Ancients. I think they actually missed this. Yeah, they didn't. They were a little too late to actually stack that. Then Sunstrike, apparently they didn't write down Roshan times. That has about 3 minutes left on it. Actually, Disruptor went max kinetic and Thunderstrike before even maxing Glimpse. Interesting choice, but I won't really knock it. Tornado's gonna go scout things out. Doesn't actually hit anybody. And there's the Sange finished on the Mirana. And both teams playing very, very fast. They know what's the gold look like. It's still fairly in the Dire's favor. It's about 8,000. Experiences in the Radiance. But they know that the next big team fight will pretty much... well, whoever wins the next team fight is going to get racks. Pretty much guaranteed. And a bunch of drawing on the map for some reason. Tinker's got himself 3,000 gold. So we'll have to see what he looks to pick up. Might just save for buyback. I mean, he could probably replace that soul ring with something. Maybe like a Yule's, or... And more Sunstrikes to set... check Roshan. We actually see a Force Staff forward and a Telekinesis, but Marana did manage to leap away. The Tornado will actually catch her. And they're going to glimpse her back. Pops the Manta just to disjoint the glimpse. Great play. And so Sven has the recipe for the Assault Cuirass. It's about 200 gold from finishing that one. And he hits a little hard. You know, about 350 damage without God's Strength, so God's Strength will bring him about 500. You crit on that, that's pretty much someone dying. Like, that pretty much will one-shot this Lina. She has a point booster, maybe looking for an Aghanim Scepter. It's a good pickup on her. Does bring it quite down. And there's Roshan. Double damage on the Chaos Knight, so he's just going to be shredding through this. That coupled with all the marches. Chaos Knight picks that up. Lina grabs the cheese. And are they going to look to fight this? Is the real question. They probably saw right around here, well, with this ward here, that it's hard to draw. They would have seen the Disruptor come down, so they know that there's at least someone poking around, and it's pretty safe to bet that a Disruptor's not going to be roaming over towards the Roshan pit when you just killed it alone. Tornado's going to come through, not land on anybody. Leap is consumed. So they're going to throw an Alacrity on this Sven. He's using his Shadow Blade. He's not going to catch anybody? No. Yule's finished on the Windrunner. I like that pickup. Help remove somebody from the fight. And 4,000 gold saved up on the Tinker now, so he's probably looking to pretty much just sit on this. Might replace the Soul Ring with something like a Bloodstone or a Yule's. I think he might get a bit more utility out of like a Bloodstone. How much is a Bloodstone? It's 50-50. So he'll probably look to save up around 6,000 gold so that he still has buyback. Or at least might pick up the Soul Booster. How is Tide's Shiva's coming along? So he is about 60 gold from being able to afford the recipe. We'll probably see him save up a bit more than that though, just again, so he has buyback. This is at the point in the game, 56 minutes in, you want to have buyback at all times. I mean, it's not that huge of a deal on these supports, unless Tide gets like shredded before you can pop the Ravage. But definitely on Chaos Knight, he's got a 3,500 saved up. As far as pickups for him, let's see a Fort Spirit. The next pickup for him, it's hard to say. Maybe like a Desolator, or like a bit, or an MKB or something like that, like a big damage item. Something that'll allow him to just start pounding into people. Because he's got all right damage, about well, actually it's 200 on the mark. But it's, and he attacks decently fast. That probably will, that will go up when he pops his armlet on. But it'd be nice to see something that's a little more reliable than Armlet. Stretching a bit, try and wake myself up. Apparently Invoker needs to pause for a second. Okay, they've got some lag. I mean, this isn't exactly an ideal server for them. They are playing on US East, but they've got a decent amount of lag. It's better than if they were to play on US West. They've got 700 pings on both sides. While we sit at this pause, let's check out the brackets, see if anything has changed in there. So we do have Fnatic Raid Call, North America, has advanced. They're playing against Team Nova right now. So we do have a bunch of third round games happening right now. And we even have a fourth round game already happened. Wow. But it looks like everyone's just kind of sitting around here. So they're just maybe gonna reconnect or something real quick. Wait and see if their legs or if their pings balance out. And looks like they're saying go. So we will be unpausing in just a second. One of the teams needs to... There we go. I always love that when both teams say go and then neither of them actually push go for like 10 seconds. We're seeing some sentries put down here just to make sure that they don't do some kind of crazy initiation with Mirana ulti. And there we go. Okay, it was for a Heaven's Halberd. Thank you for not going SNY. I love that pickup, actually. This Sven's BKB must be getting pretty low. So they're apparently still having issues. So actually, he hasn't popped his BKB in quite a while. It's still 7 seconds. They were saying lots of lag. So that's unfortunate. I mean, you want to be able to win a team fight or the game because of outplaying and better positioning and stuff like that, not because your team is the enemy team is lagging and wasn't able to respond to what you had pulled off. Looks like we're seeing a BKB for the Rubik. And, okay, so just this Null Talisman is just sitting in the inventory. Take up an item slot, pad the stats a little bit. Vlad by the Invoker, so I do like that. You know, gives the team a little bit of an AoE armor buff. And Boots of Travel are finished on the Sven. So he's got no buyback. So if he goes down, they might be in some trouble. Because he'll have probably like 80-second respawn timer at this point. Got 900 ping now. Oof. And there you go, 5,300 saved up on the Tinker. So we might see him save up another like 1,800 gold or something like that. Wow, are the US East servers crapping out? And they're saying just go. Like, they're both lagging, so it's not like one has an advantage. And the Sven is able to kill an entire creep wave with one hit. Arrow's going to come through, doesn't actually land on anybody. We're going to see some marches being thrown out on the high ground. Just keep pushing this wave forward. Dragon Slave going to finish out a bunch of that. And yeah, it's a pretty close game. Like, both teams have good team fight between the Static Storm and then the Ravage, and then, I mean, Sven Cleave. And then both of them have tons of counter push, so you can't just build up a huge wave. And, oh, Mirana gets caught out here. This is bad. This is the kind of thing that they were waiting for. Sven pops his BKB. He pops God's Strength. He's going to actually pause for a second and start right-clicking on this Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight does have the Aegis. Ravage is going to go out. Tidehunter is going to go down, though. And there's Lina. Chaos Knight's going to come up as well. Sven just manages to make it out of there. Windrunner is going to get demolished by the Phantasms. Tornado is going to come through, land on two. One Paranoid Android, Sven capping on his power. I mean, he could replace this Battle Fury with something. Buys a salve to help speed it up. Or he could sell this Shadow Blade. I think he should sell this Shadow Blade, pick up like an MKB or something. Or sell the Battle Fury and pick up a pure damage item. And then he's just going to crit your entire team. That is Sven capping out on his power. So, I mean, that was pretty close. It was, I think, like a 4-for-3 exchange. It's US East purely based on the tournament. It was originally US West, and then a bunch of the South American players complained, saying, like, we have much better pings on the US East. And they knew that it was US East. It's in the tournament rules, so. Unfortunately, I think it might just be something going on with US East servers. I'll ask around, see if anybody else is having issues, but I am looking out at the bottom lane for some reason while there is a huge fight going on. Tinker gets right-clicked like crazy. Chaos Knight does finish off the Windrunner. There's goes Sven is actually going to get 4-second Chaos Bolt. Sheep goes down to a Laguna Blade. He has no buyback, I don't think. No, he cannot buy back. Reality Rift actually gets disjointed. Creep is going to eat that arrow. Rubik gets taken down by the Tinker. And a kinetic field to try and hold them back. So this is probably going to be Rax. I mean, the tower is already down, so. We've got 6,000 gold on this Chaos Knight. Tinker, I do believe, bought back. Oh no, his buyback is ready. He just can't afford it. Bought something. What's coming on the courier? Bunch of sentries. Okay. Open up.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Kinetic field to hold the Tidehunter, and he didn't actually pop his Ravage. He's had with Shivas as well. They're going to try and delay this, but I mean, Sven's down for another 40 seconds. That's most of their damage. This is Rax. Glyph is popped. Light Strike Array for some reason. Deafening Blast. We're going to see Chaos Knight actually get shackled to one of his own illusions. There's the second mid. And they're probably going to rotate. Yeah. Look to take out this creep wave. Yeah, and when he's had this Tinker has some great positioning. I mean, he knows that he basically just needs to go a bunch of mobility. He went Manta even. Chaos Knight, Ravage goes out. Chaos Knight gets a kill on the Disruptor. That's going to be a second set of Rex. Sven is back up. Tinker takes down the tower. They're going to look to try and finish off. He's going to get shredded, though. Sven cleans that up. Stormhammer is down. He pops God's Strength. Warcry to try and catch up. Mirana pops her ult. But oh my! The damage coming out. And yeah, if the Tinker can stay alive and outlast the BKB, he can basically perma CC. Double damage on this Sven. But they're going to look to fight this, and Reality Rift saves the Mirana. Sunstrike's going to get the kill on that. Arrow comes through, doesn't actually land. Stormhammer finishes off the Chaos Knight. The Chaos Knight can buy back, I know for sure. Mirana cannot. This Tinker has just been all over the place, doing great work for his team. But in general, it's been great positions, great positioning by all of them. I mean, they did manage to take Rax, and they could buy back on at least one of their heroes. Tide is up in 15. Glyph is not up. Chaos Knight buys back. Alacrity on him. 1 second, he pops his BKB, pops God's Strength, and just shreds the those Rax. He is down to a 5-second BKB, though. Invoker gets taken down. Invoker buys back right away. Static Storm's gonna go out. Disruptor is in some trouble. He gets Reality Rifted. Poor Hairduke.
Chaos and corruption.
Sven has 5,200. His buyback is ready. It's about 2,000 gold, so he has basically 3k gold he can mess around with. Roughly. Actually, probably more around 1,200 because of the unreliable gold. 12 to 1,500, but I mean, I really think he should replace the Shadow Blade for maybe like an MKB. Or like just something to give him a bit more damage. Maybe a Mjolnir.
Roshan has fallen.
There's a cheese on Tinker and an Aegis on the Chaos Knight. This game is just going forever.
Invisibility.
I love games like this, even though my voice is starting to give out. I love it. It's much better than the first game I cast. That was an absolute stomp. Final score was something like 7 to 31. Invis on the Tide. More than likely his next item will be a Refresher. That's just kind of your standard item progression. I'm glad to see the chat being a little active. If you want to ask me questions, go for it. I do try to interact. If it's like a question about me, you know, if it's a question about me, I'll respond in the chat even, so that there's not the 2-minute delay. And there you go. He gets rid of the Battle Fury, picks up a heart. Gives himself some extra tank ability. Gives himself some extra damage as well. A little bit of extra damage. Plus, it gives him that regen. If he gets low, he doesn't have to leave the fight. He just has to back up for a little bit. Let the heart regen kick in. 4-second Chaos Bolt on Hairduke. He's going to take a good amount of March damage. Chaos Knight gets caught out, though. He's stuck inside the Static Storm. He's stuck inside the Kinetic Field. Sven goes down. Sven, I don't think has buyback. We see Ravage gets stolen. Aegis is popped. That's going to be a second set of racks. Invoker gets a kill on the Lina, but that's a second set of racks. And this is one of those games you do not call GG. You will be waiting until they tear down.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
I love games like this.
Radiant's bottom tower is falling.
Intense Dota, coming down to the base skill of people. Windrunner gets a kill on the Chaos Knight. There goes Tinker down as well. That's 4 of them. They got a little greedy trying to take that third set of racks. But I don't know if they can actually... There we go. Tinker buys back. Morana is back at base. Lina is going to be back up in about 8 seconds. She's got herself a Reaver. Oh, that belongs to the Chaos Knight. She has herself her Aghanims finished also, so that gives her like a 1250 nuke. That's huge. And guy who told me to open my micro, what are you asking me to do? If you're saying to open my mic up, this isn't actually in Dota TV, so I don't have to do that. This is only on my stream. Let's see, another 3k-ish gold saved up on the... no, WCY I do not believe is. I do believe it's... Okay, I don't have to turn open mic on because nobody should be spectating this game. And it's not through... Oh, okay, I don't know why you're watching inside the game if you're on my stream, but... Open mic it is. Just for you, buddy.
Illusion.
Ghost Scepter picked up by the Tidehunter. That's another great pickup, as I said, with the Tinker. You gotta pick up Ghost Scepters so that you can avoid that damage from the Sven. If he can't right-click you, he is going to run around wasting times. And yeah, I'm rooting for Pain, I won't lie. Mostly due to the fact that I think it's nice, like, it's good to see females getting into gaming in general, let alone getting a full female team. I would love to see them get successful, make it into the pro scene. You know, do a pull bottom bottom. Here we go. There's no tower, so they're going to be able to dive into this. CK has a Satanic finished, so he'll be able to just... Now he can go toe-to-toe with the Chaos Knight. Or with the Sven. Chaos Knight can go toe-to-toe with Chaos Knight. We're going to do some Dotaception. And he's critting for decent amounts. He's critting for, you know, 750-ish. Not quite the, like, 1,300 that this Sven is doing. But you know what? It's, when you have Phantasms doing it as well. Blink on the Tinker, interesting enough. Probably looking to be able to blink in and sheep somebody. And then he has the Force-Staffed escape if he gets in bad situations. But this is such a, like, it's a Mexican standoff like no other. This is the friggin' Alamo. And I don't know why I'm quoting the Alamo, because I'm Canadian. Meteor coming through. Mirana's gonna pop her ulti. Are they gonna look to sneak this Tidehunter in? Yeah, they are. Ravage is gonna go off. Sven right-clicking away. Pop your Ghost Scepter. There you go. Pops his Ghost Scepter. CK pops Phantasm. Oh, Satanic! You need to use your Satanic! Ah! Oh, they're starting to get stuns onto the Sven. He's gonna go down. I just rolled my chair over my toe. It hurts a lot. Must keep casting. Chaos Knight goes down. Rubik gets a double kill. Tidehunter goes down as well. Tinker Force-Staffs himself out. Ghost Scepters. Oh, the Sven. The Sven right-clicks. Pops the Shadow Blade to keep chase. Gets Force-Staff forward. Warcry. Arrows for no reason. Gets crit for 1,200. Has buyback. Tide cannot. So I don't think Chaos Knight turned on Satanic, and you have to do that if you want like the 175% lifesteal. If you pick up an item, you should probably activate that item. So what's the level? Everyone's getting close. Like, when supports are getting close to level 25, it's crazy. Scouting out Roshan. About a minute left. They do not have Mega Creeps. These are still up. They have Super Creeps here and Super Creeps here, but they still need to take these before they actually have Mega Creeps. It does make it incredibly difficult to actually push in. Marana buys back. So they do manage to even out this middle lane, so that'll take some of the pressure off the Super Creeps here. Will duke it out. They won't constantly be having to push that back, but yes, this top lane, they have to constantly address these creeps. And Tinker is being super annoying with this Manta. And I find it adorable.
Radiant's middle tower
He's just traveling in, dropping the Manta, rearming, TPing out. Oh, well, you gotta love it. Roshan is back. Another 2,000 gold saved up on the Marana. Heaven's Albert. Heaven's Albert has been doing work. I really would like to see this armlet be sold for something like a Mjolnir or like an MKB or something like that. Even a Daedalus. Just because at the 75-minute mark, armlet toggle, it doesn't really do much. The 25 strength is great. It gives you a bit of attack speed too. But you're better off just getting a reliable item. Like an MKB. That is always giving you maximum stats from it. It's bad enough that you have to like toggle stuff like a Satanic. EMP on the Tinker. Brings him down. He does have some pretty good mana regen, though. Are they going to look to do some cheeky play with the Marana ult again?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We're going to see an arrow on the Invoker and a Static Storm dropped. So this would be the time to go in. They don't have their big team fight ability. Like, I would just pop the Marana ult. Or we're going to see Tinker blink into the random trees. Ice Wall is going to be dropped on him. He's going to eat a Sunstrike as well. Force Staff himself out. Oh, and flop your Satanic! Okay, Aegis is consumed. Sven's BKB is down. Ravage! Shred the Sven! Sheep him. He gets Laguna Bladed. He has to back out now. Disruptor actually gets a kill on the Tidehunter. Melee racks down. Ranged racks down. That's Mega Creeps now. And now it's pretty much looks like Pain's gonna win this, just due to the abilities of like the creep push. Lina's gonna get torn apart though. She buys back. Tai cannot. Chaos Knight could.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
Yeah. It's now that they have Mega Creeps. It's gotten to the point where you basically can't push out, especially since they can't just jump in and quickly tear apart these racks. They still have tier 2s that they have to tear through, and they don't have somebody like a Wisp Tiny. Like, if this was a Wisp Tiny or even a Wisp Sven, then you could probably do it because you'd be able to warp in and just start pounding down these tier 2s. Sven pops God's Strength. Laguna Blade's gonna go out.
I'm done.
So Lina just gets torn down again. Tinker does force Staff up to the high ground. And TP's out. Arrow's gonna come through, not land on anything. I'm gonna keep yelling at this Sven, or this Chaos Knight, though, to use his friggin' Satanic. Because as far as I've seen it, he hasn't. And if you're looking to stand toe-to-toe with a Sven with God Strength on, you should probably turn the thing on that makes you impossible to kill. Tinker actually gets a kill on the Windrunner.
Oh, they never miss.
And that's all the middle tower is down, too. Tinker is in some trouble. Static Storm gets dropped on him. So he is gonna die. But I mean, Ancient is open, and with Tinker, with Boots of Travel, in fact, I really would love to see them all pick up Boots of Travel, right, like, pretty much right now. Like, disassemble these, you can buy it, whatever, and go for one last GG push, teleport in on a Mega Creep Wave. Phantasm is in 10, Ravage is in 5, DD Rune. They need to get, like, they give that to the Chaos Knight, and then they go kill everyone. Use the march to slowly get your creep wave forward. A meatball is going to come through. They're going to pop a bunch of sentries, make sure that there's no Marana ultimate shenanigans, because they know that that's what they're going to look to do. Although they can still do the Force Staff Ravage Shivas. Arrow's going to come through, not really scout anything out. 7,000 gold on this Sven. 50, like... And it's not even all that, like, it's 500 gold per minute. It's very impressive. But it's not like Black, who gets, you know, 800 gold per minute. He's just constantly cleaving down waves. Arrow lands on the Sven. Marana has a Desolator. 4-second Chaos Bolt. He's going to be perma-shoot pretty much. Ravage Shivas. Sven gets shredded. Sven buys back. Rubik has popped his DKB, but that does not help with a Phantasm CK pounding you down. Oh my god! Ancient taking hits. Marana gets caught out, does not have leap, goes down. Sweet Jesus! My voice hurts so much because I keep yelling. I feel like Toby. But I mean, yeah, it's slowly going to be GG. You look, like, these Mega Creeps are almost killing these supports. They're buying salves just to help heal themselves up. Sven apparently gonna try and solo this.
Radiant's Ancient is under
He gets sheeped. And he gets lasered. And then he pops his Shadow Blade and runs. I don't know what he's hoping to do there. Slowly, these creeps are going to start doing damage. You know, if every wave you let a couple melee creeps through, Ancient regens. Well, he can definitely mess up all the lanes. But if you let a couple melee creeps through and they get 2 or 3 attacks each, the Ancient does regen, but it won't regen that. So you're going to slowly chip it down. And now I think really... we're going to see them just look to do one final push. And it's pretty much low enough that they could ignore everything. Pop Phantasm, put all the illusions on. So Desolator, Sunstrike gonna be scouting that out, so someone's still not writing down Roshan times. Yeah, I really don't think they could, especially with only a 5-second BKB.
Is under
If
attack.
they've got enough CC spread out amongst everyone, that if everyone's spread out, he wouldn't be able to spend, like, he can't cleave them all in that 5 seconds. So someone's gonna CC him, and then he's going to get killed, probably, as long as, like, the CK's up. Yeah, it really is their only option, but this is gonna be another Aegis. Because they really can't stop it. Because if they leave to go try and stop it, then their base, like their ancient, will just die to mega creeps. Divine on the Sven. Now that's an interesting pickup. With this, he could do something. However, we might see him actually get picked off now.
Radiant's Ancient
Just
is
due to
under
the sole
attack.
fact that he doesn't have that shadow. He's been barely escaping with like 100 health with that Shadow Blade. Man, this thing goes down fast.
Roshan has fallen to the down.
Mortality.
We'll have to see who picks up the cheese. Most likely, yeah, Lena's just gonna drop a TP scroll. And you should probably actually pick up cheese, even if you sell the cheese. Why'd you drop a TP scroll and not pick up cheese? Okay, so we're gonna see probably what will be the last push of the game. Now, I don't want to call games, but I mean, the Ancient has 1600 health. They have an Aegis.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
Arrow's gonna come through, not land on anybody. Really, all Pain has to do is stay somewhat spread out. As long as they're semi-spread out, the Sven will pop BKB and won't be able to kill them all. Meatball is gonna come through.
Radiant's Ancient is
There you go,
under
Chaos.
attack.
Deafening Blast is gonna come through. Mirana pops.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And there you go, BKB is gone. Static Storm lands on nothing. Ravage! Anchor Smashes are gonna start coming out. Windrunner gets just crushed. She has to run out. Pop your Satanic, pop your Satanic! There you go, it's GG, 4-second Chaos Bolt.
Radiant's dire.
And there you go! Very good game, congratulations to Pain. They move on to round 3. I was Blightwind. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm a captain for Gosu Gamers. Check out gosugamers.net for all of your gaming needs. And check out my YouTube, Insadius. I will bring up my loading page